Today we're gonna go from the ankle to the knee, to the hip, to the shoulder, to the elbow. Then tomorrow we're doing the same, but the other side of the ankle, the knee, hip, shoulder, and elbow. It was actually while filming tib bar, Nordic hamstring curls, and cable reverse squats for the hip flexors that Fernando realized we could finish off with pull-ups and curls and turn the ATG system into a full body flow to get in your best shape. It's a natural urge once you've mastered the ATG forms to want to get moving. So we're training from the ground up, both sides of each main joint. And as simple as that sounds, I can't say I've ever seen it or that I've had more fun in the gym. So if you see us talking about ATG Shred on social media, it's our newest program. It's simple, and we're here to help if you'd like some coaching through it. Welcome to HQ, no second takes, filming our third round live. Got the kiddos in here, Gramps, our friends. It's gonna be fun. Step one was the ankle. Fernando's doing a seated calf raise. While he does that, I'm gonna give you a quick backstory on zero. When the world changed a couple of years ago, I went 6 months, no equipment. So don't think you have to do equipment for this program, because this, a knee over toe calf raise, which you could start with 2 legs. You could even start with less knee over toe and gradually build. This, I actually end up liking more to this day. I don't even use the machine. So for this step, I'm getting ankle mobility. I'm getting isometric strength with the knee over the toe. I think this is a secret weapon. So I wanted to start it off by being clear that, like, we can help you through this program. You don't need as much equipment as you think, and you could start rebuilding from the ground up with literally zero. I'm gonna finish this while Fernando gets it real on the slam board.
Yeah, here we go. 100 kilos.
It's gotta get 12 reps. Amazing depth. We're back rolling. Fernando actually did his set in our defense. Drew messed that one up. So he's gonna have to do another round while I'm gonna be here. You can get a side angle in here. That's fine there. And normally I would hold this even closer under my chin, but because of the mic, I'm gonna hold it out of touch. So now we're progressing into dense program, which is mastering the basics. So you only have to master 1 knee exercise per session. This is the foundation. So once someone's getting really good with this, boom, now you can throw a bar on your back. Like, if I could only do this the rest of my life, I know I could have upper 1% knee health and athleticism for my age as I age. So I actually start these workouts, like I'll start like this, and then I'll actually jump in there as the rounds go with the bar, but always staying true to my roots. You can basically just add a slant board after zero, add something for the hamstring like a Nord stick, and you can start working into dense. Wasn't exactly counting my reps, maybe.
That's up there.
Oh, mama.
The thing that's amazing about this.
Oh, mama.
The thing that's amazing about this program that most people don't understand is that heart having to pump blood from your ankle to your hands through all these exercises. That's what really gets your heart rate up. There's a ton of even science behind showing when the heart has to pump blood like
baby.
that. Science. It shreds the body fat, right? It burns more
Bob
calories.
Gaida, one of my heroes who invented the tib bar but wasn't a businessman, It fell off the face of the earth. So no, I didn't invent the tib bar. I just said, these need to come back out.
Yes.
Now Rogue Fitness is making it. So for Bob, this heart rate's for you. This is how he believed in training. Pretty cool stuff, and he was the Mr. Universe. So you actually can get the cardio and the strength at the same time. It's pretty cool. So here he's going another round, 12 reps on the slam board, 100 kilos, just showing that he's earned his way, that he can do this now. The deeper he goes, the more he's developing that teardrop muscle by the knee, the more he's developing his knee. Your knee can strengthen, not just the muscles around it, actually the internal structures. And this actually prevents degradation in the knee over time. Hell yeah, bro. What do you got? 9? No stopping. 10. Deep. Yeah. 11. One more. Nice. Good shit. Now I gotta keep rolling. Hopefully he has something he can say. I'm rolling into teaching about standards, which is as we rebuild from the ground up with 0, it's all optional, but this is the route I took. Rebuild from the ground up with 0, then indent, really make sure that knee is fortified and the legs are strong to now support more back and upper body development. So I'm gonna demonstrate the standard on full stretch Romanian deadlift while Fernando either tries to catch his breath or...
Well, I wanted to say that the beauty about the ATG system is that it is so scalable. You can have from someone who just got out of surgery or has never exercised before to training Olympic athletes. So, truly scalable to anyone. Another tip, if you want to get your heart rate up a little higher, you notice how Ben is never really resting between each rep. When you're conquering a perfect form or trying to get stronger, you might want to take a second at the top of every rep. If you want to get your heart rate up and shed the most amount of body fat, you want to stay engaged. Nice.
And what I was going for there, something just about anyone can get to. 100% of body weight, but getting my lower back at least to parallel without my knees going over my toes, without rounding the back. So it's a measurement of hamstring length and strength. And that's what the standards program is. It's an assembly of all these things that most people couldn't do. Like most people wouldn't have the mobility, some would. And then very, 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 very few can do all of them. But by doing all of them for the whole body, your potential is, or maybe way, 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 way different than what you're being told right now in terms of preventing injury, longevity, athleticism. That's why we get so excited about this stuff. Fernando's going beyond standard now, just to show you, no, there's no arbitrary limit for the standard. You can be much stronger than knees over toes guy.
And I want to say about this genetic thing, I get called quite often a genetic freak. I have good genetics. I'm not going to deny I have.
I grew up with this guy.
I do not
Pretty
have
pathetic.
genetics. Yeah.
Pathetic athleticism genetics. Very average muscle genetics, but has managed to build both qualities.
So like what you said about how
You got to lift, brother.
It's a lot higher. Your potential's a lot higher than you think
Yep.
with hard
And
work.
Fernando's what, 33? 33, I'm 31, and it's definitely not the norm to now like be in your 30s and be like jumping way higher than in your 20s. Nice. Intent. His intent is on stretching those hamstrings. After this, Fernando's going to build out a muscle building program. We may go even less reps, more. I don't know how he's going to do the muscle building program, more weight. This program, intent on form, going through all the exercises with low breaks. That's where the mind is at on this program. It's amazing form. Really nice stretch on the hamstring. Fernando can do a front split dunk over 200 pounds of muscle. Amazing form. Beautiful, beautiful. All right, I gotta keep us moving. I'm on to my weakest thing. I need to get shoulders like Xavier and Derek. Let me grab.
The key to this program in the first 6 weeks here is to get 3 rounds done in 30 minutes. So you can self-regulate your own break between sets as long as each round is done under 10 minutes.
Derek can hit this standard easy. This is not even the standard weight.
How many you get?
I think 11.2. Now Fernando's up next. If you have a buddy, I go, you go, is a killer way to go through this.
Such a good way.
Just to give all aspects to it, I don't time my workouts. Some people must time it, and they crave timing.
I set one timer.
Or they take too long of breaks. As a basketball player, I'm more inclined to go less rest. So for me, it's probably best to do it with a partner, and just I go, you go, and I'll end up right at that 30-minute mark. Here we go. Last set of press. 24 for Kobe.
Yep.
2, making it look easy. 3, great form, full range of motion. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got this, you got this. Oh! Oh, you got it, you got it, you got it. 2 more, 2 more. Hell yeah. Last set of press for the week. Explode, keep going. Nailed it. Nailed it. Now here's what I'm gonna do, because for the body I'm trying to build, I'm not finishing with the direct elbow isolation. The full range of motion, pressing and pulling, already makes my elbows feel great. But I realized to do something, I kind of stay on my weakest or most important link. So for me, that's always gonna be the knee is what I'm most grateful for. So instead of not doing the arm, I'm gonna get in here and every round and just like really get like 12 more and just milk that area that I want to be really good at the rest of my life that I didn't.
Yeah, it's a great variation to double up.
So do
the
something.
weakest link.
Yeah, either your weakest or depending on your sport or goal, like the most important one for you, you could double up.
Nice.
Looking good. You're up in 60 seconds, no joke. Alissa's gonna go next after Fernando does the elbow and just show how anyone would start this. It can regress and customize, and online we can work with you for your exact ideal shred routine. Here we go. Finish strong. Last 12. He's gonna control it and get a nice full range of motion for the elbow.
Yeah, the key here is that the elbow
2.
does not go down. It should stay straight up or slightly
Nice. 3.
sky.
Makes sense. 4, 5, 6. Once Onyx starts lifting, then I gotta start hitting arms. Stay bigger. 8, 9, keep him back. Yep, you got it. 10. Come on, come on. Yes. Nice. Last one. Boom. Fernando crushed it. I'm super grateful for this program. We're gonna recap diet advice at the end. Sassy's with her godfather there. Fireman action. What a stud. He's so much cooler than me. My amazing, beautiful wife and super mom, Alyssa's gonna go through a round. Let's go over here, babe. While I am using this as something like what my body's craving after zero dense standards, anyone can still go into this if you're coaching them through it. So she's gonna start on a calf stretch. This is actually really good. Notice how, notice how cold she can get that angle past vertical. She didn't used to be able to do that. Competitive figure skating background, the boot locked up her foot and ankle. However, she can already do the calf standards naturally. I had to work years to do that. Point being, she doesn't you don't have to do the calf part if you don't want bigger, stronger calves. So she'll go a 30-second calf stretch each side.
This one, honestly, is one of my weakest ones, though, like Ben said, because of
Stiffest.
skating days.
Stiffest, like
Stiffest.
tightest links.
Tightest.
You got weak
Exactly.
or tight links. You don't want either.
Yeah.
They're strong, but it's working. You're doing great.
Thank you. And I don't need to build my calves at all, so I just kind of stretch them. But from skating, I think they built enough.
Now, boom,
Squat.
12 squats.
Okay.
Yep.
Ready?
Yep.
Okay.
So she can, that's amazing form. So she can go right into this, but I want to explain that you could regress this by going one leg at a time with assistance on an ATG split squat. So my knees were too imbalanced. I couldn't just jump into this one. I needed this split squat to make this feel better. I needed reverse step-ups to make the split squat feel better. And I needed a reverse slide to make the reverse step-ups feel better. And I needed all the ankle work to even make all the direct knee work start to take effect. So my point is just that any regression is okay on this program. It's amazing that she can hop right in. Now we're gonna head to the dumbbells. 8 kilos might be good, and she's gonna do 12 full stretch Romanian deadlifts. Now give yourself a little break, and maybe you can comment, she had some knee issues, and she's been really consistent on the slant squat or buddies squat. The difference is like a buddy is less of an angle. So for like heavier loading or split squat where you just need something small, or for traveling around, the buddies, they both have different pros and cons. So for pure knee, slant board. But for step-ups, split squats,
Travel.
Travel, the buddy, So if you want to just comment on any of your knee stuff.
Honestly, if you only have one option, though, I would get the buddies because they're more versatile. That's just my opinion.
You could start there
Yeah.
and then build to the slam
And then
board.
you could build to the slant board. But if someone had a question, which one do I get? Definitely buddies to begin with. My knees, this one was my landing leg from skating. And honestly, step ups is what
Patrick
helped me.
step up.
Patrick step up
Yep.
that we created is what helped handle my knee, because I would always work in the gym and I'm really competitive, so I always wanted to do whatever Ben said or more, and I would hurt it more. And then actually on our honeymoon, I was like, babe, this doesn't hurt. This is incredible. And there you go. We had the Patrick step up, and that honestly for me is what handled my knee problem. That one thing alone.
Doing a step up, Drew might have to back up a little bit. The original is where you go onto, this may have been a tough choice on that, but you
Yeah.
go onto the ball of your foot, and then you're
Exactly.
strong enough pushing like that. Then using a buddy, and then more for the knee, is what Charles Poliquin came up with to regress. This is called a Peterson step up
Yeah.
from a downhill ski physiotherapist, where they have to be super strong
You want a
through the
buddy?
ball of that foot. No, it's okay.
Okay.
Drew will show it. Charles Poliquin, who trained Olympic athletes in a ton of different sports, found a lot weren't stable enough to do that, so he put a wedge under there, which is what led to us making the buddy, because slam boards are tougher to like put on top of things. But then Alissa and I came to the conclusion, well, also you should have one where the heel just stays flat. And
Just flat.
I
Just
think
like
it's
this.
because of her stiff ankle, something about mobilizing the ankle while working the knee.
Yep.
And so we had Peterson,
Too
Poliquin.
much pressure on my knee, and I had to regress it
Yeah.
way back.
Yeah, so low box,
Yeah,
heel
low
flat.
box, heel flat, just like this.
Yep, and then from there,
Yeah,
built a beautiful split squat.
exactly.
And now she
like
can
this.
hop on there.
Here's flat,
Yep.
and you can just go down.
That's
just like
fantastic.
that.
And it's much tougher.
It's way tough.
We always
on
do this on
phone,
a, yeah. Don't
like
do this
this.
on foam, do this on a,
Yeah.
Drew will show the actual
but
form videos.
just like this.
And in
it's-
zero, you don't even need anything.
Yeah,
so you can
zero.
actually reach your heel to kind of see how far you're getting. So you can actually just work the ankle mobility
Yep.
and the knee. This is step 4 of the zero program. So, you know, you dived in on YouTube, dive,
Dove.
full education. That's what it's for.
Dove in.
All right, now she's going to go to the Romanian deadlift.
Okay. If anyone's wondering about this color, this turquoise color, that's my favorite
This
color.
is called Alissa Blue. You can notice pretty much everything in my life is that color.
That's right.
Nice form. Right there is good. Yep. So she's put in the work on this. So she maintains really good form, really good hamstring length without, I mean, this is crazy. Like she hasn't done these in a while. Hops in from the play zone. First set. You don't have to overreach though.
Okay.
I'm talking maybe to the viewer. I think you're doing great. Yep. So you're trying to not lose the curve in the back. That's really good. Absolutely amazing form. Getting up there, close to 12.
Feels great.
We have a mobility day. So like Wednesday, we just do mobility. However, our style of lifting is mobility in itself. So Wednesday is like a gentler, easier mobility. We have a home option or a gym option. So if you just want to stay home from the gym on Wednesday, you can do that too and just do the home option inspired by Kador Ziani. Throw those visuals on there. Da, da, Kador, ga.
I don't know where I'm at.
Probably 16 or 7. I'm just going to let her keep going. That's way over 12.
You went in 12?
Yep.
Okay.
Good job. Now she's gonna do one more. Like me, she's not gonna go to the elbow, and in her case, she'll just stop there and do 2 more rounds. So now the shoulder press. Last one.
Okay.
Any final words while you do the shoulder press? This is the end. Beautiful. Beautiful.
In the zone.
You're using whatever posture feels comfortable. Like you're not forcing posture, you're using the posture that feels right and getting full range of motion. That's fantastic.
And I have a tip
That's
too.
great.
When you're doing this, honestly, most of the time, the person wants to go like this, and it doesn't go. You need to make sure the weights in between kind of go in the ear sections there.
It's actually amazing advice to think with
You-
the ear, because that's kind of the center. It's amazing
and
advice.
it almost always is you have to pull it backwards way more than you think to actually get it to the right spot. But if you're not looking at yourself in the mirror, you just try to think pulling it backwards more, and then you'll get it to the right spot.
There's also, even within a program, the intent you put on an exercise. We all want to be mobile and fit and healthy at work. The intent you put on exercise is going to dictate how strong and how much muscle you build. So she's going to use a weight probably that feels good.
That's right.
I want my shoulders to catch up and be bigger. So I actually might, I'm pushing closer to failure on my shoulder sets.
Totally. But this one would be a good one to do in front of a mirror just so you can actually see.
Yeah.
And I have no idea. I'm
Right.
just coming off of being
You've done
sick.
an amazing
but
job.
That was much harder
Boom.
than I normally do of this weight.
And in her case, I'd have her get back on this calf right now.
Yeah.
And I'll just have her do one more round. That's it. So we won't have to film the second round. But the point is that like there's no such thing as too little easing into this program. So since she hasn't been doing a bunch of working out and lifting, a couple rounds,
Totally.
make sure she's not too crazy sore. Get in tomorrow's workout for flexion. So
Everything on a gradient. That's what I would say.
Derek and I really like naturally, instinctually did this ground up style.
Definitely.
And we have a book on Amazon that people still tell me it changed their life every day, ATG for life. And it's a ground up flow. And it finishes with grip, one of my weaker links. Derek's going to break down the importance of this. He has this on Amazon.
I have it on Amazon and I have it on my website, MrInfinity.com.
Yep.
So me and Ben have been training from the ground up, and right now I'm 44, and this way of training has really saved my athletic career. You know what I mean? I can
Kicking
still,
our asses,
I can still
kicking
hoop with
20-year-old
Ben,
asses
you know
on the
what I'm
court.
saying? So,
I mean, not just like the old guy who can hoop. I mean the guy that people are like, oh, you on break from college? Like,
Yeah,
no,
I
I'm
appreciate
44.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
we've never seen anything like it on the court.
yeah, thank you, man. So exactly the way Ben is doing 150 pounds right now.
I'm tapping at 6-7 reps.
And I would say start, we have 50, 100, 150, and 200. And your grip is just like starting from the ground up from your feet. It's the same with your fingers and your hands and your wrists. Like in order to have longevity and vitality, Ben is killing it over here. What number you
I
at, Ben?
I
Can
can
you
only
get-
get about 6. I want to see. Can you? I think you
Yeah,
can probably
I'm
crush
at
me.
100, man. They say this will have 50. Once you can do 20 reps at 50.
Okay.
And then
So 20, then go up.
then you graduated from that, and then you go 100. And once you get
Let me see the 150.
20 reps, look, he's a challenge.
I want to show that he's
Yeah.
probably stronger than me in his grip,
Yeah,
and I have no excuse for that.
And then you go to 150, and 150 is tough though. How many you get?
That's strong. I got 6
Hey,
goals to like
make
Get
it.
the-
You want it to touch.
get the ends to close right there. Now, interestingly, like Derek and I both on the court are kind of known for being like assholes.
Yeah.
Get a lot of steals and shit. Like we're kind of annoying.
Pesky.
And I remember when we were training pros in the off season, we had stronger grip than all these guys.
That's so true.
And I'm like, no, what? We have stronger grip than people at NBA level because they probably never train grip.
Yeah.
So
It's so important to train grip. And like I said, if you can't grip it, you can't lift it. And really to get stronger at all your lifts, you got to have a strong grip, you know? And a weak grip is correlated to like
that's what I was going
the
to ask about.
sickness and like
Yeah.
and weakness and just like and frailty. And so it just like one thing corresponds to the other. So
I've seen this with longevity experts discussing how grip is this interesting factor. I mean,
Yeah.
perhaps to your body, when that grip starts to get weak, it's like, oh, you're old.
exactly.
You're decaying.
Yeah.
But if the grip is strong, maybe it does something
It's a
different.
communication, man. Like it communicates to your overall nervous system to get stronger, to get healthy, because we need vitality. Like I don't know how, like in the arcade days where people was like fighting and eat their hands for different things, but I could tell just personally and seeing, like you said, when you see different athletes, having a strong grip correlates to just overall just athleticism too
yeah.
and strength. So
Big
yeah,
time.
no, I appreciate it, B.
Yeah, so thanks to Derek for stopping by.
Yeah.
We got a rematch on the court.
Yeah, this Sunday.
He definitely outplayed me.
He got me last night. I gotta
got the
give it to
game
him.
winner, but he outplayed me. I can take no pride in that.
Nah, I appreciate it, man.
So we got a rematch on Sunday.
Yeah, it's all same team.
And, yep. We anonymously, I picked someone to pick teams. Anonymously, someone picked a rematch.
Yeah.
Of week 1
It's
for the
on,
Sunday.
man. It's
So
on.
we're
We
gonna
gonna
do a
let
lot
you
more
know.
stuff.
Yeah.
Check them out, Mr. Infinity. So much knowledge to gain. One of the simplest things, we are adding this on Monday. So like Monday, right? We went ankle, knee, hip, shoulder, elbow. Finish with grip on Monday. That way you get this, you can hit that every day. And then Marcel's going to show, depending on your sport, so it doesn't really apply to us maybe in basketball, but tennis, baseball, Marcel's going to show us what to add on the other days. So Derek showed what you could optionally finish with Monday, grip. Now Marcel's going to show our Tuesday finisher for the wrist.
So for me,
Flexion extension.
we're going to start with extension. I suffered from a lot of tennis elbow, which is inflammation of the
Well,
tendons.
not anymore.
Not anymore, but when I was,
It was nasty when he started.
exactly, when I first came here, I had a lot of inflammation in the tendons that connect the muscles here at the elbow to the joint. So one of the exercises, well, the list of exercises we're going to cover here were critical in my recovery. And whenever you're coming off of an injury, it's very important to try to find that stimulus, which the affected area can take without any issues, and then just continuously over time, stimulate it and keep it
growing, keep it getting developed. We'll go over to flexion here, wrist flexion.
These superset nicely.
Yeah.
They're like opposites. So Tuesday you could finish 1 to 3 rounds of like 10 to 20 reps. Meaning if you get 20, go up.
Right, and Poliquin was a big fan of matching antagonist muscle. So if you're doing flexion, it's always a good pair to do extension as well. So we're just applying that to the wrist here. And again, there's these muscles here that are picking up the wrist and curling it up at the top. So for someone that's suffering from different types of elbow pain, you know, right here I'm using 12 kilos, but that doesn't mean that you can't go lower. Just like with everything in ATG, everything has a scalability and regresses.
Boom. So that would be your optional. So 1 to 3 rounds, 10 to 20 Monday on grip. Tuesday to finish, 1 to 3 rounds, 10 to 20 flexion extension. Now this is called pronation, supination. I wish there were simpler words for it.
Yeah.
Marcel's going to show this to you.
So here, again, you can hold this. This is a bar that we're making here at ATG just specifically to be able to address these nooks and crannies of the arm. So here we have supination where I'm lifting the weight, pulling it out this way. So you would just work, there's smaller muscles here that are responsible to be able to make the wrist move in this way. So here, you just keep it rolling. Once you advance, you just hold it lower, which is gonna put more weight on the leaning side. And then the same thing for pronation. Then you can add weight.
So this is Wednesday, 3 sets, 10 to 20. We have these pumping out right now. They're the most affordable I've seen for this because it's the same as our tib shaft, same shaft, and you know, American made. So we were like, boom, can we just turn this into the wrist bar? So simple name, wrist bar. Now of any of these, this was actually the one that was pretty life-changing for me because in my basketball past, I broke both wrists, and I just want to do my own rehab.
Right.
This was the critical one for me. I'll show a rep just so people can see. Like, if you've had a broken wrist, that position probably doesn't look good. And now that position feels strong. Now on this side, I broke that one.
Yeah.
So I felt extreme imbalance like on these until I started this. So I got actually really into wrist work to rehab my broken wrist. So boom, this is Wednesday option. Now you'll show us Thursdays. Friday, we would finish down with some optional neck work, which we don't like to do too frequently, but we can get some flexion extension on the neck. Neck bridge, scales wall, then bench, and neck flexion, this strong neck device. It's a really simple way to load. So this will round out explaining how this program works.
Yeah. So right here is another critical function of the wrist. You know, the wrist has a lot of different kinds of motions. For me in tennis, when I'm hitting different kinds of strokes, the forces that travel up the wrist, you know, can impinge in different areas of the joint. So it's very important that you continuously train the different motions that the joint can move, which is very much ATG methodology. It's the same thing you apply to the knee. How does the knee work?
And here we're building what, from the ground up? Well, we're kind of building from
the arms up.
Yeah, so if you want to not have tennis elbow, it's like jumper's knee doesn't have to exist. Like it's a math equation of how you build your body. Oh, that's part of it. And I remember Marcel having the same thought, like, oh, tennis elbow is just like part of tennis.
Right.
It doesn't have to exist. It is a math equation of what forces you can handle. Exactly. So this again supersets really well. So same thing, 1 to 3 rounds, 10 to 20 reps on I believe this is the radial bone. So you have radial flexion and then the ulnar bone, ulnar flexion. And so he tries to just be a beast at all of these different ones for tennis. Now to finish it out, training is part of it. Diet, calories in, calories out. ATG has no diet opinion. ATG is not a diet organization. However, Fernando is our leader on body composition for people who want help losing fat, building muscle. So he's going to break down diet. I'll just give you my purpose on this is to honestly give yourself a pat on the back. Realize that we're up against a fundamental barrier that naturally we would have to burn calories to get calories. So now calories we no longer have to burn to obtain. So for me, I think of, okay, I'm trying to get in my best shape right now. This workout allows me to kind of simulate, okay, I just went for a hunt there, gathered, whatever.
Yeah.
I had to really do extra compared to just a normal lifting session. And number 2 is the more calories for how much nutrition, probably the more money they have for marketing. So we're out in society that the calories are ready to come to us, and inversely for what's actually like nutrient dense. Mm-hmm. So the program for me, I'm only doing 1 supplement, which is essential amino acids, the ones we have to get from food. So simulating getting the protein from food. and electrolytes, which Fernando is the only one that I actually really enjoy the flavor. So the electrolytes, the salt, the potassium, that has my workout quality. Great. I've actually never gotten shredded this fast without having to push through hunger. And since I had kids, I never did intermittent fasting or anything like that since I had kids. I didn't want to be irritable. I didn't want to be hungry. So I haven't been hungry, and I still got ripped. So Fernando, you know, everything we do is duty driven.
Yeah.
What do you feel like is a duty to share to someone who may be confused on diet right now? Or, you know, what's the duty line here on diet for you personally?
Yeah. So the first thing is, there's a very common phrase out there is you can't out-train a bad diet. There is a truth to that. Now you have to train to optimize your fat loss and your diet. But if you do this ATG shred, you can't go eat pizza after. Okay. So diet is very key. Now,
And if you can, you're probably in the genetically elite.
yes.
And so
If you can, good for you. But then there's a health things deeper on the level, right?
that's a great point.
Right.
We've seen the bad diets often. Maybe they're shredded, but then like
You'll hear a lot of athletes.
The-
Oh, I eat blah blah. I won't get into name, but I eat Skittles. I eat this and that. They tend to have injuries later on in life, in the mid-30s. We're in our 30s. We feel better than ever. So diet is a factor along with incorrect training. So the two are very synergistic. So to keep it simple, because I could talk about this forever, I have it down to 3-4 main key principles.
what are those?
Number one, high protein. You have to get enough protein. Want a simple goal? Not getting into the super science of it all? Eat a gram of protein for your goal body weight. Okay?
And I've seen Fernando helps a lot of clients with diet.
Yes.
And I've actually seen him get results, vegan, carnivore, whatever for people. So he's not even saying how to get that protein.
Right.
He actually probably has great tips for you, however you want to.
However, right? I obviously recommend, I'll be open, an animal-based diet, but that does not mean if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you cannot get better in your diet. So protein is king.
Protein. What's number two?
2, stop and eliminate all processed foods from your diet. That's like the simplest way. That alone is going to cut so much calories out of your diet. 2, what you were talking about, the nutrient density is now going to be in our favor. So you will require less amount of food to get the micronutrients that you need to fuel your body and to feel satiated and focused.
I actually cut out cheat meals, but the last couple of years I've eaten more calories because, again, with kids, I wanted to be full. And what I did is I started getting into fruit. Like so like when I was craving a dessert, what if I go find a ripe mango and at the end I'd be like, I feel better than if I would have had a donut.
Right. Because of that nutrients.
So I think all the junk would still taste good, but I felt the need to help people with that because people around me often know what to eat and they could write the most perfect diet, but they can't stick to it.
Exactly.
And so for me, I'm going over 2 years now. I haven't had a cookie or a piece of pizza. I haven't had a cheat meal. I haven't had a potato chip in over 2 years.
Better than me, for sure. That's amazing.
Yeah. Now, honestly, when I did like scheduled cheat meals and this and that, because of how the calories work, I've actually been at my most shredded.
Correct.
I'm not even saying that's like the key to get shredded. I'm just saying that I think I agree wholeheartedly with this of just realizing that society's against you on eating real food. And look for real foods that maybe have slipped by because when you go into 7-Eleven and you think, oh, fruit, soggy melon, and rotten bananas, like I kind of grew up thinking like fruit was like, like average.
Yeah.
And now realizing that the way it should be is actually, it could shift for someone.
Yeah.
Less fake food, more real.
Exactly. So just cutting out that stuff, all this processed oils and super crazy fats and right? And sugars and all that. Okay, good. So that's going to be a huge help. And then number 3 is hydration.
Real food, hydration.
And that's where the amino hydrate, my supplement that I'm very passionate. I'm actually so proud of it. It took me years to make, and it's like
My favorite
it's
supplement.
just something that anybody could take, and it's.
My wife likes the flavor. She's picky with flavors. My dad likes the flavor, and my dad
Too.
My dad doesn't like anything that's fakey, pre-workout-y, like supplement-y tasting. I think he said it best. Like it doesn't do anything more than it needs to.
Exactly.
Flavor-wise.
It just covers enough, but it's not
And
overpowering.
I actually don't probably drink enough water. So the fact that now I'm like doing that, I think my water intake is a touch higher. So I'm sure my water and electrolyte intake are a touch higher. And these would be for the performance reasons. These would be smart things to do when pushing yourself in a program.
And I designed the flavor to be strong enough so you had to put it in enough water. People are like, oh, can I just take a shot of it? That's not how it works. You need water. So put it in enough water. So hydration, cutting out processed foods, getting enough protein. And then 4th, which is kind of everyone knows.
DM 4th.
DM for the 4th. No. sleep. But there's a lot to sleep. So those would be the 4 keys. And yeah,
Honestly, sleep though too. I think there's some simple stuff.
there's some simple stuff out
For
there.
my wife and I, like the trick was realizing that there's plenty of time in the day for being on the phone.
Exactly. Well, this
So
is
not having a TV in the room, and literally I'd leave my phone to charge outside of the room.
So do I.
We've ended up communicating so much more, making 2 babies, like just a lot more healthy stuff has occurred. No, but I'm serious. I guarantee my testosterone levels
Absolutely.
are higher of my phone. It just doesn't go into the bedroom. And honestly, it wasn't like an instant process. So maybe it's like, oh, I did it one night, and then the next night I find myself at 1 a.m. like answering DMs. So now it's gotten to where it's easier. I think it takes time. But I would say, like, that's my sleep tip, is if you can gradually work yourself to not bringing the phone into the bedroom, I think it's better for everyone. Relationships, testosterone, the amount of sleep you get. It probably does things even, like, it's easier when it's just dark and you're talking.
There's a lot of, And your buddy Huberman actually has a ton of tips on that. And the one that I would say that's helped me the most, besides, again, I'm obviously a supplement guy, so there's a particular magnesium. And all this stuff, I'll be putting out additional tips and further tips into all these things. But one of them is when I wake up, just get outside, look at the sun. Don't directly look at the sun. Get outside and look outside. This is like game changer for me. I wake up, I drag my sleepy ass outside, and just, even if I have to sit on a chair out there in the sun, and if I'm drinking my coffee, if I'm checking emails, if I'm sipping my amino hydrate, I'm sitting there and I'm sitting in the sun for 15 minutes. That has made
For me,
my
it's just
sleep.
getting out and walking the dog.
Well, that's
after I
there you go.
changed 2 shits. So I see these little morning routines all the time, and I'm like, you lucky bastard. 'Cause I'm literally like, I wake up and I have like Onyx is on me. It's the best thing in the world.
But it wakes you up.
My morning routine is kids climbing on me, changing 2 diapers, walking the dog,
You get the sun and the dog,
and that's it. So it delays my caffeine intake.
Yep, which is good
And-
too.
And if the kids don't wake up in, when it's pitch black outside, which sometimes that happens too. My point is that you don't need the world's perfect morning routine.
Correct.
You can try to be, my mission is like, you can actually try to be the best dad you can be, and you can still do all your other stuff and be healthy.
Yeah, the whole game is to take what's truly ideal.
Do the best you can for
and
your goal.
take where you are now and
Yeah.
find what is
If you're trying to
technically
win an
ideal.
Olympic gold medal,
And just get
maybe you want to do more than me, but I do actually deep down believe you could win an Olympic gold medal and be the best dad you can be. I'm never going to compromise.
Yeah, so it's just about every week, every month, whatever your pace is, just get that much better. If it's one little thing every month or every week, just get a little better. So,
Well, Fernando crushed it. Grateful doesn't begin to explain. It's the most fun I've had training in a program.
Oh, man, same.
And it helps so much because I've been going through zero density standards, which is all my foundations and what I'm grateful for. But I feel like when you go through that, now you have the urge to move. So I have no idea what I'm doing after this 12 weeks, but we're having a great time and I'm going through the full 12 weeks. So we'll see you next week back in the gym.
see you.